Hey guys, welcome back on a brand new YouTube video, and this is the part 2 of the attendance system with Django Python. So in this video, in the last video we actually covered the users app. We worked with the login, the register view, and the logout view. But in this video, we're going to add the attend functionality to the website. So here a user can attend class, and here we're going to deal with the models of PY. We're going to deal with the databases, and we're going to do some cool stuff later, and like we're gonna add that functionality to the attend. And in the next video we're just gonna do the finish touching, where we're gonna do the styling. We're gonna add CSS to make the website more interactive and stuff like that. But in this video our main focus is on the main app, which is the attend app, and we're gonna add functionality to attend a user. So that's what we're gonna do in this video, so please stick around and let's get right into it. So now that I'm here in my Visual Studio Code, I'm going to open up a terminal. Here I'm going to create a new app. So I'm going to do Python manage.py start app, and I'm going to name the app main app. So you can name it attend app or anything you want, but I'm just going to go ahead and give it the name main app. So now it's successfully created the main app for us, and I'm going to close down the command line for some time. And the first thing I'm going to go to do is I'm going to go to the apps.py in the main app, and I'm going to grab this main app config, and now I'm going to go to the settings.py in our attendance system, and I'm going to scroll down to installed apps. So here I'm going to add main app .apps .main app config. So now that is done, we're going to close down our settings.py for now, and I'm going to go to the URLs in our attendance system, and I'm going to add a new path. And here I'm going to do path so this is going to be path, and here I'm going to leave it blank. So that means that whenever we go to our domain name or our local host, we don't have to do any admin slash or register slash. It's just going to directly take us to this path, and the path is going to be include main app .urls. So this is going to go ahead and redirect us to the URLs in our main app. So that is what we're doing here. So I'm going to close the URLs for now. I'm going to go to my main app, and under it I'm going to create a new app, and it's going to be urls.py. I'm going to do urls.py. So here in the urls.py, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to import from django.urls. I want to import path, and here we have to type in from. So from django.urls, I want to import path. So that is what we just did here. So now I'm going to create a list, which is URL patterns, and URL patterns is going to be a blank list for now. And I'm going to close the urls.py file now. And in our still on our main app, I'm going to go to the models.py, and here we want to create a database. So this is how we can create our database in the models.py. So here I'm going to design our models. Our model just means like the objects of a database, something like that, but it's mostly about our database. So we're going to write it in pure Python, and at the back Django itself is going to convert it to a query language for us, so that whenever a user just wants to log in or something, it's actually in the he stores it in the database, something like that. So here we're going to write our attend model, and Django is going to convert it to query language itself, so we don't have to learn SQL or anything like that. It's going to automatically convert it for us. So what we just have to do is to type it in Django. So the first thing is, since we're dealing with an attendance system, that means that a user has to be present. So we're going to import the user model. So that is from django.contrib.auth.models. I'm going to import user. So here we have imported the user model now. So now I'm going to create a class attend, and I'm going to do class attend. The attend is going to inherit from models.model. So this is the models here. So it's gonna hear from the model class. And here what I'm going to add is, okay, I'm going to create a variable offender. So offender, or this is going to be a column, I think so. So offender is going to be equal to models dot foreign key, and here is going to have a one-to-one relationship with the user. And here I'm going to do on delete should be equal to models dot cascade. So here is going to be models dot cascade. So this means that in this line, what I've simply done is I created a variable offender, and offender is going to be equal to models plus foreign key. So foreign key just be like a one-to-one relationship. That means that only one object can only have one user. So that can only have one offender. So that is what we did here. So we created a one-to-one relationship with the user. So that means that every object will have only one user present for the object to be created. So, and here added on delete should be equal to models.cascade. That means that whenever we delete a user that has a relationship with this append, or with an object append, it's going to go ahead and delete that user. I'm going to delete that object that has been created with that user. So let's say I deleted a user, and that user is being linked with this append object here, and it's, when the user is deleted, it's going to go ahead and delete any object here from the append that has a relationship with that user that has been previously deleted. So that is what we are doing here. So this is the on delete is equal to models.cascade. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do this time to be equal to models dot date time field, and here I want to add also now add should be equal to true. So this means that here I created a variable datetime, and datetime is models.datetime field, and here I added also now add should be equal to true. That means that whenever we create an object append, it's gonna automatically save this for us, and it's gonna save it as the current present time right now. It's gonna even store the date, the hour, the minute, the second, even the milliseconds. So this is what is gonna auto now add should be true. So it's gonna store the specific time that the object was created. So after that, I'm just gonna do define underscore str. Don't know why this thing is opening. So here define underscore str, and here I'm gonna add self. So this means that whenever we call the class append, I want to return something, and here I want to return str offender dot username, and here I want to return the username of the offender. So since this is the class, I'm going to add self dot at the back. So self dot offender dot username, and here I'm just going to add a plus sign, and here it's going to be a space, and here I'm going to add a plus sign, and here is going to be str dates time. So here I want to return the username, and I'm going to add a space, then later I'm going to return the dates time of the object, the date time, which is the time that the object was created. So just not to run into any error, I'm just going to add str here in case of anything, and I guess that is it. And now that this has been done, I'm going to close this now, or I'm just going to leave it open, and I'm going to go to my views.py, still under our main app here. So here the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to import the model that we created. I'm going to do from models, I want to import append. So now that I've imported the append, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a function, and the function is going to be append view. So append view is going to take a parameter request, and now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a condition, and I want to check if the method that we're getting is a post request. So a post request means that whenever we submit a button, that's a post request. Whenever we transfer a file from our computer to the website, that's a post request. So let's say if we get a post request, I'm going to create another condition under it. So if we get a post request, I'm going to make another condition under it, and it's going to be if request dot user dot is authenticated. So this is the condition we made under the request.post or request.method. So here we're making a condition if a user is actually logged in. So this is going to check if a user is actually logged in, like presently logged in. So if a user is logged in, what I want to do is I want to create a variable, let's say authent object. I think authent object will be the best name. And authent object will be equal to the authent class here that we imported from our models.py here. Okay, I just remember that here we're supposed to add self. So please note that. So self.datesTime. So here what I'm going to do is authent object is going to be called to the class authent, and here we're going to pass the parameter authender. So this is the authender here, this authender object here, the authender variable. So authender is going to be equal to request dot user. So this is going to get the current user that is present or that is logged in here. So this is going to get the current user. So it's going to create an object authent with the current logged in user. So here we specify that authent should be equal to request.user. So here I'm going to do authent object dot save. So here we just like created it, but we haven't stored it. So we just stored it in a variable, but here we're going to store it in our database. So that is what we did here. And here I'm going to do return, and I want return to be equal to render, or I want to return render. And here I'm going to pass the parameter request, and here I'm going to specify the name of the file. So the name of the file is going to be main app slash authent.html. So I'm going to create a HTML file which is going to be authent.html, and here I'm just going to do this. I'm going to leave this as a blank dictionary, but in the as we go on in the video, I'm going to add more code to this authent view. So it's going to be longer than this, and I'm just going to be taking it step by step for you guys to understand how we're going to build this. So now that that is done, I'm going to go back to my urls.py in our main app, and here I'm going to make another import, and this is going to be from .urls. I want to import authent view. I think that is the name, this authent view here. So that is what we imported here, authent view. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new path, and here I'm going to leave it blank. So that means that whenever we just go to our URL, our domain name is just going to go directly here, so we don't have to do any slash again. So when we go to our path, I'm going to do authent view. So I'm going to add this authent view as the view that is going to display for us, and here I'm going to put a name. So I want name to be equal to, I'm going to say authent view. So I like to give it the same name with my function, but you can put whatever name you want to put there. So that is just the name I gave it for now. So in our main app, I'm going to create a folder which is going to be templates. So this is going to be the folder we're going to store our HTML files, and on that template you have to give it the same name with the app you're working on. So I'm under the main app now, so I'm going to do main app here. I'm going to add main app there. So now that I've created a folder under this template, I'm going to create a new file which is going to be authent.html. So now that I've created our HTML, I'm just going to do the basic things we're going to need while starting a HTML file. So here I'm going to add the doc type, and here I'm going to do the HTML tag, and here I'm going to do the head tag, and here I'm going to do the body tag, and that's it. So in the head tag, I'm going to create a title. So title, and title is gonna be attend. So that's just gonna be the title. And in the body, I'm gonna do some the basic h1 tag. So h1 is just gonna be the first heading, and here I'm gonna add the heading, and the heading is gonna be attend class. So that's just gonna be the heading. And here I'm gonna create a paragraph, and paragraph is just gonna be, I'm gonna type a small message, and I'm gonna say, so by clicking the button below, you will be marked present in class. So this is what we want to tell the user. So here I'm just gonna add an thing here. Okay, so by clicking the button below, you'll be marked present in class. So that is what we just told the user. And here I'm gonna create a new form, and this is where I'm gonna keep the button. So you can just do the normal button there, but I like to make it as a form, just in case, let's say we want to add more things there and I don't have to go ahead and create the form again. So I like keeping it as a form, like just like that. So here I'm going to create a tag form, and here in the form I'm going to say method should be equal to post. So this is going to be a post method, and here I'm going to do the percentage mark, and here I'm going to do CSRF token. So this is just for security reasons, but you just have to add it there. And here I'm going to create a button. So I'm going to do button, and the text is going to be submit, and that's it there. So now that that is done, the first thing we're going to have to do is I'm going to create migrations. So remember that you were just supposed to run it, but we have to create the migrations. Since we did the models.py, that means that we have made changes to our models.py. So that means that we have to save our models.py. We have to inform Django that we have made changes to our models.py. So that is what we want to do here. And here I'm going to do manage.py, and I'm going to say make migrations. Python manage.py make migrations. So this is going to go ahead and make migrations to our models.py. So it's going to inform Django that we have made some new changes to our models.py. So as you can see here, it gives us an error, and here it said that, okay, so in our URLs.py, I think I did from .url. It's supposed to be from .views, and I'm going to rerun the main app, the migrations, and I hope that it worked well this time. So here, as you can see, it has created a model attend for us successfully here. And now, since we have done that, I'm just going to clear the screen, and here I want to I want to do the migrate command. So this time it's going to save the new migrations to Django, to the database now. So there we just inform Django Python manage.py migrate. So there, the make migrations just inform Django that we have made migrations or changes to our models.py, and we want it to be aware of it. But this time we did Python manage.py migrate. So this time it's going to go ahead and save the models.py and convert it to query language for us. So now that that is done, I'm going to do Python manage.py run server. So this time I want to run the server for us so that we'll be able to access it here in our Chrome or our web browser. So as you can see, it has created it has started a server, and I'm just going to go ahead and copy the URL, and I'm going to paste it over here. So now, as you can see, we're now in the URL. So we're now in the attend class. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tap the button submit. And now we have tapped the button submit to cross check if we have actually created a new what they call it, a new object. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a shell window. I'm going to do Python manage.py shell. So Python manage.py shell. So this is going to create a shell window for us. I'm going to make this bigger. So here I'm going to do from main app dot models, yeah. So from main app dot models, I want to import attend. So here we've imported the models.py here, and here I'm going to do append.objects.all. So here you can see that the query set is empty here. So I'm going to check why it's actually empty. So I think that maybe we're not logged in yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do /login. So I've not yet logged in. That's what I believe. So I'm going to log in right now. So here I'm going to do Branson, which is the user that we created the last time in the last video. So Branson, and here I'm going to log in. So now that I've logged in, so yeah, remember this page not found in the last video. So we can quickly fix it. Remember that I told you guys that I was going to fix it in this video. So how we're going to fix it is we're going to go to our settings.py. We're going to scroll down here to the last line, and here I'm going to add in login redirect URL. So login redirect URL should be equal to from main app, okay, attend view, yeah. So now that that is done, I'm going to rerun the server, and this will fix that error that it gave us there. I'm going to rerun the server. Okay, run server now. Let me rerun that. So as you can see, it's run successfully. And let's go back here to our login, and I'm going to log in again. So I want to show you that, guys, not going to take us to that page, rather it's going to take us to our attend page there. So I'm going to do the password, and I'm going to type submit, and as you can see, it took us back to the attend page now. So now in the attend page, I'm going to tap submit. I'm going to go back to our Visual Studio Code, to the terminal, and here I'm going to rerun the attend.objects.all. okay, so here it's giving us an error. So what I just did is I just saw that we didn't add the return here. I'm going to add a return. So just a silly mistake of mine. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to rerun. I hope that that is going to fix the error for us. So I didn't add the return there. So please just remember to add it there. And I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to refresh the page. So I'm going to refresh the page, and here I'm going to type in the submit, and hopefully we're going to go back here. We're going to see it. So the first thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the migrate command again. So just in case that it had to save something. So I'm going to go back to the Python manage.py shell, and I'm going to rerun all those commands there. So I'm going to do from main app.models, I'm going to import attend, and here I'm going to do attend.objects.all. So here, as you can see, it returned this for us, and this is like the attend ransom. So now that that is done, as you can see, we created multiple objects here. So these are all the objects there. So now for our admin to see it in his page, or the admin page, what I'm going to do is in the main app, I'm going to go to admin.py, and here I'm going to do from .models, I want to import attend. So here we've imported attend from the models.py file, and here I'm going to do admin.site.register, and here I'm going to register attend. So this is what you just have to do for it to register attend for us. So I'm going to check if the server is still running. So as you can see, the server has run successfully. The first thing, that when we're dealing with the admin page, we have to create a super user. So that means we'll have to create an admin. So we can't just go to the admin and create an admin there. We have to do it from our command line. So what we're going to do is Python manage.py. I want to create super user. So Python manage.py create super user. I'm going to tap enter, and you're going to start, it's going to ask me for the username. So I'm going to leave it as admin, and email address, I'm going to do admin@gmail.com, and that's what I did. And the password, I'm gonna give it a password. Okay, so I'm gonna retype the password right now, and this. So here you can see that super user created successfully. So now we can go to here and we can do /admin, and we're gonna log into our admin page or to our admin account, and the gonna be admin, and I'm gonna log in right now. So as you can see, it has we're now in the admin page. So you can go to our Athens here. This is from the main app, and here you are going to see all the Athens here. So you can see that the user Branson login at these days and this time and other things like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is, here is too long. As you can see, it's not very presentable. It's too long. So where we want to cut it is, we want to cut it at the second or at the minute here. So we don't want it to be that long, so we want to like shorten it there. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna count from here. So as you can see, okay, let me just do something. Athens.objects. So here I'm gonna do get, and here is gonna be id1, and this is gonna be in a variable a, so a is gonna be equal to this. Okay, so here is gonna be id should be equal to 1. So I'm gonna do print a. I'm just gonna do some spaces so I'll be able to see what we're doing. So here I'm gonna do print a. So here we printed a, and here you can see that it is Branson. This. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna count right now. So as you can see here, there are 19 characters here. So there are 19 like in numbers. So I'm gonna go to the models.py right now, and here in return I'm just gonna add this. So here I'm gonna do the list, and this is gonna be 19. So I want to return all the characters there before the index number at 19. So that is what I just want to do there. And I hope the server has rerun, and I'll show you guys what I mean here. So here, as you can see, this is how it looks like. And now I'm going to refresh this, and now as you can see, this is what it is. So this, we're going to count how many characters are here. As you can see, this is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19. So that is what we just did there. So now that is done, you can see that it looks more better here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new account there. I want to show you guys that I can actually log in with multiple accounts there. So I'm going to do /register, and I'm going to register a new account. So 127 this, and here I'm going to add /register. So /register, and in the username I'm going to create a new user, which is going to be test user. I'm going to give it a password, and here I'm going to give it a password, and I'm going to tap submit, and it has created the user for us. So I'm going to go to the login page, and here I'm just going to do test user, and this here I'm going to put it password, and I'm going to type submit, and it has logged in successfully. So as you can see here, the Athens class, I'm going to type in submit, and I'm going to go here and I'm going to refresh, and hopefully we'll see that it has created a new object for us. So login, and here you can see that test user has created a new object. So that is good. So now that that is done, I want to create a condition whereby it's going to tell the user if, let's say for example, he or she is not logged in, or he or she has logged in before and cannot log in again, or other stuff like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is, this is going to be pretty long, not pretty long like very long, but just a bit long. So here I'm going to create a condition. So the first one, we want to create a variable status. So here I'm going to do status to be equal to none. So that is the first thing we're going to do. So status is going to be like the status. So it's, so in our program here, so status is going to be like the one who is going to tell us which status we're in. So where a user has been previously logged in, or he or the user is good to go, or other stuff like that. So the first condition I want to make is I want to say if a user has been logged in before. So that like I want to check if the user has been logged in or not. So here I want to say, so under this if request on method is post. So here I'm going to do a try and accept. So here I'm going to do try, and here I'm going to put the accept. Yeah. So in the try and here in the accept, I'm going to do, let's say for example, user is not actually logged in. So I'm going to do status to be equal to 1. So here I'm going to status should be equal to 1. And the next one I want to make is if a user has logged in before. So if a user has logged in before, he or she, or if a user has logged in today, he or she cannot log in again. So he has to wait for the next day before he or she will be able to log in. So here in the try, I'm going to create a variable attended today. So attended, or I'm going to put at attended date time. So that's just going to be the name of the variable. And attended date time is going to be equal to attender dot object dot get. So here I want to get where attender is equal to request dot user, and as well, so I want to get where attender is equal to request dot user, and here I want to get dot date time. So here I want to get the date time of any object of the object that the attender is equal to the current logged in user. So that is what I want to do here. And here, at the end here, I'm just going to add str. So I'm going to make everything here a string here. So here I'm just going to add pass in case it gives us an error. So I don't want to go ahead and crash the server. So here I'm just going to put pass there. And here I'm going to create another try and accept. So I think this is going to be the last try and accept. I don't know, but as we're going, I don't know if it's actually going to be the last. So here I'm going to put accept. So in this other try and accept, what I'm going to add is I'm going to create a variable attended today. So attended today is going to be equal to attend dot object dot filter. So here I want to filter out where attender is equal to request dot user. So it's just like almost the same thing we did here, but this time we're filtering out. So where attend dot objects, where attender is equal to request dot user, and where date time, this date time starts with is equal to date time. I forgot to add attended date time. It's not supposed to be ordinary date time, so I'm gonna paste that there. And here if we do this, it's gonna give us an error. So remember how we got, before that it was pretty long, like it had all those other things. So if we do that, it's never gonna get filter anyone out. So what we want to do is we want to get a one whose year, month and day has been created. So we don't have to do with the minute or second or anything like that. So we just have to get the one whose year, month and day has been created. So here I'm just going to add this, and here I'm going to put slash and here I'm going to add column 10. So column 10. So that means that it's going to get the first 10 characters. So this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So it's going to get up to the day. So if we're going to get the year, the month and the day. So that's the condition we want to create here. So here I'm going to put another except. Okay, here I'm going to add a status before I forget. So here I'm going to do status should be, the first status was 1, that's if. So here I'm going to put status should be equal to 2. And here except I'm going to put status should be equal to 3. So what I just did here was that I created status to be equal to 2, if so, okay, let me explain this line first. So if it doesn't get any user whose status and whose attender is equal to the request or user or the current logged user, and whose date time doesn't start with the this attended date time, which is over here, this line here. So, and if it doesn't get, it's going to give an error. So that means that if it gives an error, it's going to go to this except 3 here. And if it gives an error, that means that a user has never been created. But if it has been created, that means that it's going to give us 2. That means because it's not going to run into any error. Okay, here supposed to be double T. And anyone that whose date time doesn't start with the current or to the date time that it's found here, it's gonna take us to this status tree. That means that if it was wrong, but if it actually finds one, it's gonna do status should be equal to 2. So that is what we just did that there. And now that that is done, I'm just gonna add all these conditions to my HTML file. And in the HTML file, we're gonna make the condition that if status equals to 2, do this. If the status is equal to 3, do this. And if the status is equal to 1, do this. So that's what we're gonna do there. So before we go to our HTML file, I just saw this and I'm gonna remove this here. So actually it's gonna create a condition that if status is equal to 3, that is what we want to do. So here I'm gonna do if status is double equal to 3. I want to do this. So if a user has not been created before with those parameters passed here, I want to go ahead and create this. So this is what I did here. So here I saw an error. I don't know why it's giving me an error here. I think that's all fine. So here, okay, it's not attend. Here it's supposed to be attend, not attender. So attend.objects.get this. Okay, so okay, I just saw this now. So this thing is not supposed to be here now. So I'm going to remove that there. So when it returns this is at the end, then I'm going to add the this thing there. So it's going to be at the end. I can't just add it there because it's not yes a string, so it's gonna give me an error. But it's after when it's a string that I can do that. So that's why I added it at the end. So I don't know if there's any error. So that's what I'm just cross checking right now to see if there's any error here. So I think that okay, I think that everything is fine right now. So at the end, what I'm gonna do is here I'm gonna pass in the status. So I'm gonna do status should be status. So this is gonna go ahead and give us this status. We're gonna pass this status to the web page so that we'll be able to access that status in our web page. So that is what we just did there. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my HTML file here to the append, and here I'm gonna make some basic conditions. So the first condition here I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say if status. So this is how to make a condition in the HTML file if you don't know. So this is like HTML with Django. So if status is double equal to, so I'm going to go back to my views and see the status here. So the first one is if status is equal to 2. So we want to tell the user that the user cannot create the account because he or she has created an account today. So we're going to go to the append here. I'm going to say if status is double equal to 2. Here I want to tell the user I want to create a paragraph P. So this is gonna be paragraph P, and here is gonna say sorry. So here we're telling the user that you cannot attend class more than once a day. And here I'm gonna do end if just to end that specific if. So here I'm gonna do end if. So now that that is done, I'm gonna create another condition now. And here I'm gonna do if status is double equal to, I'm gonna go to the views and see which one again. So if status is double equal to 3, because that if status is equal to 3, that means it's gonna go ahead and create this there. Or maybe I'm just gonna tell the user that your account has been successfully created. So let's just do that. So here I'm gonna do P, and here I'm just gonna tell the user your account. So here we're gonna tell the user that the account has been created successfully. So here we're informing the user that the account has been created successfully. So now in our views.py, we have covered the status when status is equal to 3 and when status is equal to 2. So to add a condition that if a user has not actually been created, we're just going to go here and I'm just going to add an else condition. So here I'm going to put else, and here I'm going to put status should be equal to 0. So that means that if a user is not authenticated, I want the status to be equal to 0. And I'm going to go to the authent.html, and here I'm going to add another condition. So here I'm going to say, here I'm going to close the tag. So here I'm going to say end if, and here I'm going to do, actually going to copy the whole all of this, and I'm going to paste it here. So here this condition is going to be if status is double equal to 0. I want to tell the user that you gotta log in first. So then if that is true, I want to provide the user with some links to login. So here I'm going to do an anchor tag A, and this one is going to be login, and here I'm going to do href should be equal to, so here I'm going to do this, and here I'm going to create these tags here. So here I'm going to say URL, and here is going to be login. So login, and I'm going to do this for the other one, and this is going to be for register. So there's going to be register, and here I'm going to put register. So that means that if a user is not logged in, I'll give the person the option to log in or to register a new account. That is what we just did here. So now I'm going to try and rerun the server if it's not running. So here I've rerun the server, and as you can see, it's run successfully. And I'm going to copy the, I'm going to go back here to the authent, and this time I'm going to try to log out this time. I want to see what's going to happen. But first, okay, first of all, I'm going to try it. I'm going to remove everything here so that this condition that we created here will work. The condition that we created here, which is this first one, will work. If not, it's going to give us an error. So I'm going to remove everything here. I'm going to do the delete selected items. So I'm going to do delete selected items to delete everything so that condition will work. So the condition that we created there will work. So yes, I am sure. And here it has deleted everything. So we want this condition to work. That's why we deleted everything there. So now, after that, I'll close this here. So there, we can now like log in and do everything we want. So I hope our server is still running. Oh, but I always keep on opening that. So I'm gonna rerun the server right now, or I'm gonna refresh the page. And as you can see, we're here right now. So I'm gonna type in submit, and we're gonna go here. I'm gonna refresh to see if that's actually created one. So you can see admin, this. So now I want to try and submit again. Let's see what you can see. So as you can see, sorry, you can't attend class more than once a day. So I'm going to type submit, and so much, and I'm going to refresh, and as you can see, it didn't create any objects for us again. So since it allowed us to submit the first time, and here in the condition we checked if a user has created, and that the same user has created the account today. So if that's created the account today, we say status should be equal to 2. So that means that the user cannot attend class more than once a day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in again, or yeah, so I'm going to log in again. So I'm going to do login. So I'm going to log into another account, and I'm going to log into Branson. And I'm just going to type in submit because I put all the passwords the same for all of them just to make it easier for me. So here I'm just going to submit. And here I'm just going to type more submit. As you can see, it gave me that's the same thing here. So I'm going to go here, and you're going to see Branson there too. Admin. login. Here you're gonna see Bronson here. So this is another one. So here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna log out this time. So I'm gonna do /logout, and we're gonna retry, and we're gonna see if it's gonna tell us to log in. So now that we're here, I'm gonna go to the page there, and I'm gonna type submit. And here you can see it tells us you gotta log in first, login or register. So it's giving us all this. So I think that here is giving us an error, which is to log in. So I'm gonna fix that error in our HTML file here. So I'm gonna go to HTML, and I'm gonna scroll down to this particular point here. So what we're gonna do is we have to add this percentage sign at the end. So I forgot to do that there. So here I'm gonna do the same thing here, and I'm gonna do that the same there. And now I'm gonna go back to our local host, append, and here I'm gonna type in submit, and you can see I'm gonna go login, and you can see that it took me to the login page. I'm gonna go back there. Yeah, I'm gonna go back here, and I'm gonna go to the register one. Now I'm going to see that it's going to take me to the register one, as you can see. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in with the other account. I think I'm just going to do the feature that we provided for us here. So I'm going to go to the login page here. So here I'm going to use the test user that we created, and I'm going to do submit. And here I'm going to do submit again, and here we'll see that it has created the other one for us. So here you can see that it has created the other one for us, which is the admin here. So as you can see that we have created the functionality to attend class, and it checks if a user has attended class today or other things. So we covered a lot of things in this video, but in the next video we're going to be finished touching this video might be pretty long, I guess. So let me check. So it's gonna be kind of long, about maybe 50 minutes or so, because I'm gonna do a editing right now. So the video right now is around 1 hour and 70 minutes, but I'm gonna do some editing and I'm gonna shorten the video. So that is it for this video, guys. Please smash the like button, please share, because like in the last video I didn't get so much watch time and it was very low. So please increase it this time, and please share, please, and please subscribe. And if you have a feedback or any suggestion, please leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer those. And without further ado, I'll see you in the next video.